What if I told you that after years of studying English, you're actually practicing the wrong way? Are you still making the same pronunciation mistakes? Struggling with the same grammar rules? And feeling like your English hasn't improved in months? Here's what happens when you ignore the one element that separates fluent speakers from eternal students, and it's not what you think. By the end of this video, you'll discover exactly why you're stuck and the simple shift that can accelerate your progress by months, maybe even years. Keep watching until the end because what I'm about to share has helped thousands of my students break through their English barriers, and it could completely transform your learning journey too. You've probably been studying English for months, maybe even years, but you still hesitate when speaking. You know the grammar rules, you've memorized hundreds of vocabulary words, yet you feel like you're stuck at the same level. It's incredibly frustrating when you put in hours of practice every day, complete online courses, watch English movies, but your fluency still doesn't improve the way you want it to. I know exactly how discouraging this feels. You start questioning whether you're just not good at languages, or whether you'll ever sound natural when speaking English. And trust me, you're definitely not alone. This is the #1 complaint I hear from English learners around the world. They feel stuck despite their best efforts. The truth is, it's not your fault. You've been following advice that sounds logical but actually keeps you trapped in what I call the intermediate plateau. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to break through the invisible barrier that's been holding you back from true fluency. You won't believe how something as simple as changing your learning focus from accuracy to fluency first can completely revolutionize your English skills. What I'm about to reveal is the same method that helped my student Maria go from struggling with basic conversations to confidently presenting at international conferences in just 4 months. This approach is something that 99% of English teachers never tell you about, and it could be the missing piece that finally unlocks your English potential. Most people overlook this because it goes against everything you've been taught about language learning. Make sure to stick around because if you click away now, you'll miss the exact 3-step process that can transform your English in the next 30 days. Here's what happens if you don't address this. You'll continue spinning your wheels, memorizing more grammar rules and vocabulary that you'll never use naturally. Your speaking will remain choppy, your confidence will stay low, and you'll watch other learners surpass you while you remain stuck. But that ends today. Here's the thing, most people focus on the wrong aspects of learning English. They spend 80% of their time on grammar rules and vocabulary memorization, but they completely overlook the most important factor: output fluency practice. The problem is what I call input obsession. You're constantly consuming English content, reading, listening, studying, but you're not spending enough time actually producing the language. When you don't prioritize speaking and writing practice, your brain never builds the neural pathways needed for automatic language production. You become great at understanding English, but terrible at using it spontaneously. Think about it. You can probably understand a movie or a news article, but when someone asks you a simple question, you freeze up and struggle to form a coherent response. For instance, you might know the word sophisticated when you see it in a text, but you'll never use it naturally in conversation because you've never practiced incorporating it into your active vocabulary. Or you understand the difference between present perfect and past simple in theory, but when you're speaking, you default to simple past every time because that's what feels automatic. This is why students who focus only on input can study for years without improving their speaking fluency. They're building a huge passive vocabulary, but a tiny active one. Now, let's talk about how you can fix this. The good news is, there's a simple way to tackle this issue, and it can drastically speed up your progress once you understand it. The solution is the 70-by-30 rule. Spend 70% of your study time on output practice, speaking and writing, and only 30% on input activities like reading and listening. Instead of studying grammar rules for an hour, spend 10 minutes reviewing the rule, then spend 50 minutes practicing it in conversation or writing exercises. Start implementing what I call active practice sessions right now. Every day, spend at least 30 minutes speaking out loud, even if it's just to yourself. Record yourself, have conversations with language exchange partners, or simply narrate your daily activities in English. The key is to force your brain to retrieve and use the language, not just recognize it. This builds the automatic response system that fluent speakers rely on. The reason this works is because language fluency is a skill, not knowledge. Just like you can't learn to ride a bike by reading about it, you can't become fluent by studying about English. You need to practice using it. When you prioritize output practice, you're training your brain to access vocabulary and grammar automatically under pressure. This is exactly what happens in real conversations. Research in second language acquisition shows that learners who engage in regular output practice develop fluency 3x faster than those who focus primarily on input. Your brain literally rewires itself when you practice production. Every time you struggle to form a sentence and push through, you're strengthening the neural pathways that make future production easier. Here's another powerful tip. Use the shadowing technique combined with immediate repetition. Listen to a short English audio clip, then immediately try to repeat what you heard from memory. This bridges the gap between passive listening and active production. Also practice self-talk throughout your day. Instead of thinking in your native language, force yourself to think in English. Describe what you're doing, what you see, how you feel, all in English. If speaking alone feels awkward, try voice messaging apps or language exchange platforms. The key is consistent daily output practice, regardless of the method. Remember, perfect grammar isn't the goal, communication is. Focus on being understood, not on being perfect. Now, it's time to take action. Starting today, I want you to implement the 70 by 30 rule. Cut your passive study time in half and double your speaking practice. Set a timer for 30 minutes right now and just start speaking English out loud. Talk about your day, your goals, your opinions on anything. Don't worry about mistakes, just focus on getting the words out. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. What's your biggest challenge with English speaking? I read every comment and often create videos based on your questions. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another English learning strategy that actually works. Remember, fluency isn't about perfection, it's about communication. The more you practice output, the more natural English becomes. Stay consistent with the 70 by 30 rule, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you progress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into advanced speaking techniques.